Hey guys, Happy Couple here. In today's video, we're going to discuss something a little risque. We found there was an article in Cosmo that was talking about how people who identify as non-monogamous. Let's talk about that.
Don't forget to hit the subscribe button right there and
hit the little bell.
Ding, ding.
So first off, the concept is a little interesting, for, like how you would identify as that. I mean, that's kind of an interesting thing. And since you really want to have a label on the fact that essentially you're taking your moral compass and throwing it out the window, that's cool.
Identifying as a person with no morals when it comes to relationships, but then trying to categorize that as its own thing to make it sound ethical?
Let's take the whole ethics side of it out for a second. Let's just talk about practicality. The work it takes to maintain one relationship actually takes work. Like, you have to put create into that. When you start involving multiples of people, that gets exponentially more complicated. That would be like the equivalent of trying to learn calculus and then doing calculus on calculus. Like, I don't know how that would even work, but I'm just saying that would be like that. It sounds like the worst idea ever. Like, punching myself in the face would be more fun.
So this article went on to talk about ethical non-monogamy and how there's like this whole thing going on of ethical non-monogamy. And when you're talking about a happy, long-lasting relationship, like he was saying, it takes real communication, and there's a certain level of trust and intimacy and connection that really happens in a really strong relationship. And trying to like dilute that into this, well, we're also open for this person and that person can join and this can happen, and you start to create these like relationships with multiple people and everyone's kind of just like okay with that.
And just because you want to feel good about it, you just throw the word ethical in there. I mean, it'd be like, if you're like, ethical, beat that guy up, it doesn't make it any more ethical. You still beat the dude up. I don't know what to tell you.
Ethical stealing.
Just because you call it that doesn't make it that. Don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, really, like, titles don't equal actuality unless they actually equal the actuality. You know, like,
Deep,
if you
guys.
look at the sky and you're like, cool, it's blue, and then you're like, well, I'm gonna say that it's red. You can say that, but it's still blue. Now you can get a bunch of other people to also say that it's red, but it's still blue.
So the entire concept of this ethical non-monogamy, to us, we would just say that's a trash can situation. Just take it, boop, boop, drop it in the trash, and that's a really good place for that to go.
As a couple who a lot of people have asked, what is your secret? How are you guys so happy? How are you making your life goals happen? It starts with this foundation of real communication, real trust, real connection, and very much so monogamy. Very, very much so, our relationship is based on monogamy. It's how
it's the most successful way that we know to make it work. And I'll tell you, if having 12 people involved in stuff and blah, blah, blah was really more survival, that was really the way to go, I'm certain we would probably be doing that, but it's not.
Yeah.
For us, that has not proven that way. And so we stick to what works and what's going to lead to the most survival in our ability to help others along that way.
We want people to have happy relationships that do, in fact, lead to really building a life and a home together and all of that. That's what this whole channel is obviously based on. So when you start having multiple unions within that, like it
Have you guys ever played the game Risk? Have you ever played the game Risk? If you've ever played the game Risk, I highly recommend, if you're looking at going into an ethical, non-monogamous relationship, go play the game Risk for a while, okay? And invite the closest people around you into the game of Risk. And then see how that goes. If you really get into it, that thing is dangerous. That is an intense game.
It's spicy.
It's battle. So do that and see how that works out, and then just realize it's basically like that, but for your relationship.
Yeah, like it just is gonna make it so much harder to have a real committed relationship, to have a home. If children become involved, like, whoa, the messiness
what
of that.
happens there?
It's just not the way that it will work the most successfully. We're doing it because that is what is most survival.
It's what's worked for us,
It's what's
and
worked
that's what
for
we've
us.
seen work most with other people.
And we want you to have happiness. We want you to have real love. We want it to last a lifetime. We want you to have the best setup for success romantically and also for your life and goals. So if you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and we will see you in the next one.
Bye.